Vlad. Roman, do you want to try to ping either Eugene or Ilya?
Yeah, for sure. Already pinged some folks in governance chat. Let's see.
Yep. Neither of them have seen my message.
Yeah.
Ivil is joining shortly as well. Just called him.
Yeah, I know. He told me that he was going to be a little bit late, so that was okay.
We can start from something else, I guess.
Still waiting on people to join. Unless Dave wants to jump in, be the first person. Yeah, we can move things around.
Hey people, can't you hear me?
Yep, hi Evan.
Cool.
Okie dokie. Yep, well, yeah, okay. Let's start. TikTok. Okie dokie. So welcome everyone to the 115th Everscale Community Call. Woo! We have a lot of great updates for you, and we actually have a lot of great questions from community too. So grab that coffee and let's get started. We're going to jump to I think it's the fourth part of the agenda today because we're still waiting on some people to come. And I hope that Dave, you're ready to jump in. I'd like to kick it off with earlier this month, you know that the Everscale Foundation was officially registered as a nonprofit organization. And the foundation is focused on helping the Everscale network's ecosystem grow and evolve. And we thought it would be a really great idea to start introducing members of the foundation to the community. So today we have a very special guest on the call, and he's a pretty prominent person in the industry, so you might already know of him. His name is Mr. Dave Poulos, and he's the first member of the Everscale Foundation that we're going to introduce today. There he is.
Hi,
hi, warm welcome, Dave. So please introduce yourself. Tell us what you're up to, who you are, what's your role.
Sure. So excuse me for this setup because I was traveling for 2 weeks, so the last couple of days catching up on everything, so going from place to the other. So I've been involved with the community or with the project even from the times of Triton and with most of the members of the team. The bridge was because I also run a crypto exchange, the regulated exchange in Malta, DevEx. We're also in the gaming sphere, online gaming as well, and with many other, and also with the brokerage industry, the traditional financial investment brokerage industry. And we had originally cross paths because we were even some founders in the original Telegram raise as well, which obviously that had its own history. And then we touched base with some of the community members, which are sitting on the foundation, and Alexander Filatov as well. And we were doing some interesting stuff with regards to the community, helping with the marketing side. So just to give a bit of the real background of what we're doing here. So we're very well connected within the gaming community and obviously with the crypto community. I've been in the crypto since 2013, back in the original San Jose conference in California. And we built a lot of connections within the industry. We are very also quite large these days on the marketing side with regards to both the tech side, the crypto side, and also the gaming side. And what we are trying to achieve is the real use case here. So I would never personally watch too closely at price predictions with regards to the token. I'm not such a big speculator myself. Would like to build more the value of what we can contribute. And this is where I have crossed paths with some of the foundation members and some of the founding members, like Sasha or Alexander Filatov. And I had probably about 50 requests to join tokens, obviously, when I was the CEO of the exchange. And now I'm just doing the growth on the side, not to deal too much with the regulators. And funnily enough, Everscale was the only one who I ever associated myself with out of all the offers that came to the table. And the reason was because I saw the immense potential behind the technology, and not just the technology. So many things come across our table from an investment point of view, from our personal investment. And sometimes we don't even support the best technology because it might not have the best people to take it to the next level. It's not necessarily good to have the best technology out there. I get very good tech guys coming in front of me with something that is revolutionary, but they have not the right team to take it forward, to commercialize it, to maybe to do an IPO in the future. So what I saw with Everscale is a lot of good people coming together, and the possibility to also take it to the next level, both commercially. We're trying to do very good integration now with the gaming industry. When I say gaming, I mean online gambling, but not online gambling only. Now also with traditional games industry. Obviously, there's very good use cases coming forward with regards to not just NFTs, but gaming in general as well. With regards to exchanges, obviously, I cannot talk too much about against centralized exchanges because obviously we have a centralized exchange. But I think Everscale, with its technology as well, would probably be the first ever chain that powers a fully fast decentralized exchange because of the technology itself allows it to be able to go on par with what we're used to in the financial industry, Plaza 2, fixed connections, so on and so forth, to be able to have fixed connections. So this is, I don't want to go obviously divert too far from your question, but this is the reason why I got attracted to Everscale in the first place, or at the time, obviously, it was under Freeton.
Wow, fantastic. That was a great introduction of yourself and the history and how you came to knowing about Freeton. It's great to know that you're an OG supporter. That's amazing. I was wondering if anybody has any questions for Dave on the call. And jump into anything?
Maybe you can just, Dave, comment. I mean, you're also involved in helping us with some conferences. I think the closest one is Malta, right?
In November.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because last year was amazing in Malta.
Yes. So let me just give just a 30-second brief history of what we're talking about. So with regards to some of the biggest conferences in the world, when it comes to what I just spoke with the online gambling and the crypto side, more on the online gambling side, with regards to size, it's the Summit of iGaming in Malta, which is now technically the name remained, but it's in Asia, in Africa, in North America or Central America, and obviously in Europe. The one in Malta is the biggest one. It's going to happen this November, middle of November, 15th till the 18th of November. So obviously there's always going to be the big headliners coming to Malta. If you like the social media, there's going to be Gary V. If you like rap, there's going to be Fed Joe singing. If you like crypto itself, there's going to be a lot of good people over there to meet. Expected to be probably somewhere around 20,000 people attending. And even for the crowd of Everscale, and this is just thinking out loud right now, if someone wants to attend, please send us a message and we'll try to see if we can also arrange entrance to the event as well. It will be out of this world. We also expect, obviously as an exchange, that DevEx will be exhibiting as well. Everscale will also be co-exhibiting with the DevEx. We will have a stand there. We'll be able to meet people who want to meet us as well. We're going to share panels to speak about developments that Everscale is doing. I would not like to say stuff that are maybe a bit too premature, but maybe Alexander here during the event will be able to give some very good announcements about what's been happening in the industry and what Everscale has been doing in the past month. But rest assured that whoever wants to attend, sorry guys, I have to move the car. Whoever wants to attend the event, we can organize something good for the community. We're going to do some little promotion. We're going to help people open accounts at Everscale, do some airdrops, and lots of other things in store that we will probably announce in the coming weeks, because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say them.
A fantastic incentive right there. So right off the bat, you join and you're heading up ZBX, and right away you're bringing in this like co-exhibition at Malta with Everscale, which is fantastic.
Yes, I mean, one of the other benefits obviously is the actual founder of like the AIBC, Sigma, the Cannabis Summit, like all happening together is my brother. So obviously we have very good access to all of the exhibition space. We will know who is participating. If we want to do B2B partnerships, we know everyone who's going to be participating. Right. All of the events, the side events, the networking, we're going to be there and very present for our community and potential partners as well. We have a direct communication as well with the government in Malta. We're establishing new direct communications with other governments around the world due to the large network that we have. So I'm very excited right now. I cannot speak about what some of the other team members are doing, but I can let you know that in the last 8 months, the Everscale community has seen some of the progress we've been doing on the technology side, but we've been very quiet, tight-lipped about some of the other very big improvements that we're doing on a partnership basis.
Very cool. Okay, this is very intriguing. You're the first person from the Everscale Foundation to join the call and give us all these insights and be very transparent. And yeah, very intriguing. So thank you very much for coming on. If anybody has any questions, I'll bring it over to you. So stick around. Yeah. Thank you, Dave. We're going to move on the agenda to Pavel. He's going to give us an update on the strategic committee.
Yes. Hi, everyone. There was not much stuff was going on during last 2 weeks because we had only one strategic committee. There was a presentation of a roadmap from the Node team. So I think that it should be public, but it was not wasn't announced yet. I hope that we will agree with marketing team and to make it public this week. Okay, so then we on technical side ramp testing was very intensive during those 2 weeks. It is done in community on community network RFLD. So actually, it is that it works pretty well, but in order to scale up the load which it could handle, we need to do some refactoring. So Node team promised to do during coming 2 weeks and hopefully by the end of this period we'll be able to do some large load test and finally to get approval from key community members to merge it into the mainnet. Yeah, this is it. By the way, on SMFT part, there were also some final architecture decisions were taken because SMFT update, it is staged 1, so it's not like one. It is not done by one shot. The first phase was already developed. Also, it is also public, including specifications, all detailed specifications. But the final, but subsequent parts were not. They were not developed yet. There were some questions to be asked. For example, how to slash verifiers which are lazy ones, like those who do not produce any ACNAC, who actually do not verify, and those decisions were finally taken. So I think on the next strategic committee, which will be this Thursday, we will announce how it will be done.
Okay, thank you, Pavel. Some great information there. I know that there are some questions from the community that will align with these updates, so stick around for the Q&A so I can get you to answer them. If anybody has anything to jump in right now with, we'll move on to the Messari Report. So Roman, many community members have noticed an excellent article that's been making the rounds with all the different chats written by the Messari staff. And today we have Roman, who's going to be sharing a Messari report. Roman.
Yeah. Thanks, Jai. I'll be glad to present Messari Barrett for the thanks our tech team, and thanks Pavel, who provided many data for them. Yeah, we help them to data from our side, made for underbridge about scale. Because my garden Tom,
Roman, you're kind of going out.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's shifty.
Yeah, just a moment. Let me share my screen. Just one moment. Here is it. Yeah. Yeah, here is it. Yeah, just a second, please.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, here is it. As I mentioned that previously we updated our profile on Messari. So for now, here you can get the more relevant data. And the last thing that we did, we made a such report by Peter Horton. He's an analytical team member from Messari. He he made a research that Everscale is one of the lead L1 lawyer one points only that we could not remove, such as that we have some kind of Telegram open network that we are based on their open source, but the main point that this open source was fully written by our devs and Everscale teams. So here you can read about the background, what kind of technology, their full Everscale network architecture that help for the newcomers and investors who understand what Everscale is. Regarding this report, we have a plan to add this on the main website, as well and Cointelegraph report, Elsa. So I highly recommend to other community folks that who do not read this report to report this, and of course we'll make a short overview of this report on our blog at blog.everscale.network. There will be a full review of this report. Then we are going to translate that on other languages such as Bahasa, Korean, and other. So that's all I can say. Yeah.
Great. That was a really nice report that they did. And it's great that it's going to be translated and localized.
Yeah.
And also put on the Everscale network website, which will help with SEO. Great.
Yeah, we will add this report on the website, and there is no only this report. There are 2 more reports are coming for the next maybe 1 month. I hope that it will be much earlier. And
the Cointelegraph one has already been published. Are they doing a new one, or other ones are going to publish more reports?
No, there are 2 more reports. There will be just let me correct. So there will be 1 dashboard and 1 dashboard plus report about the Everscale. So it will help to for the newcomers and investors people understand what Everscale is.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Very nice. Thank you, Roman. We would move on to a couple more topics, the software supply chain and DeVote, but both Mitya and Eugene are stuck giving a presentation right now, so they cannot join. Maybe we'll do a bit of a write-up and share it in community, what they would have shared with you today. And from that, I think we're done with the topics. If anybody was not able to present today, we can also move it to next week, and we should move on to the Q&As. So let's go. Does anybody have any questions right now on the call, on the Zoom, before we move to the community questions? Don't see any hands. So the first question from community is the bug bounty. So the bug bounty proposal on EverDAO only got 3.4 out of 5 million votes and didn't pass. Does that mean bug bounty program isn't happening? I saw this question pop up in the community chat earlier, and I reached out to Evgeny. I know he wasn't able to join today, but he wants to let you know that the team had a heavy discussion regarding the bug bounty program with some stakeholders, and why it hasn't been accepted, despite being, of course, useful for the ecosystem. He said that the proposal received 100% yes votes and 0 no's, but quorum was not reached, so they decided to kind of reconstruct it for a better incentive. So the current decision is to propose a few changes to the program description in the rewards section specifically. The main proposal is to add possibility for the reward to be paid in levers. That's the tip 3.1 token pegged to Ever, which will also take selling pressure off of Ever. So that's an incentive. And Lever is a new token that is backed by Ever, and it will be locked for a period of 2 years. And this is being done to partially compensate for the negative state of the crypto market currently right now. And after the changes are introduced, the new proposal will then be put to vote shortly after. And at this time, there is a much greater chance of it being accepted. So I hope that is information that is useful for you. And moving on, what happened to the Everscale Cryptography subgov? Yes, that is a very interesting question. A lot of that has been popping up in the chats as well. And I reached out to somebody earlier today who's currently very swamped. So if you ping me with any more questions, I could bring it over to him and we will do a quick summary or write-up and address all of your questions. But
I can jump in for a second, Joe.
Yeah, go
Yes.
ahead.
It's not really just the cryptography sub-governance. I think we just have to be consistent. 1 year ago, there was a decision to gradually move away from the sub-governance format to newer formats, grants, hackathons, and whatever else is can be more effective and efficient, you know, in realizing the goals of the community. So this is just a decisive final, end to this. And it was DeFi sub-governance returning DevEx, cryptography. So it's just, the point is very simple. All of those would just need to be reformatted to different formats. For example, I've spoken a lot with the DevEx sub-governance, and they see more of hackathon type of activity, which might be more efficient than contests that sub-governance used to do. So it's up to each group of leaders in the particular form of sub-governance to decide. Same with cryptography. There was a call with the Neil Foundation and with the other active folks. I think it was a good call. They said what they're doing. There are a lot of regular challenges around the world in places like Korea and some of the other ones. So we just need to be rethought. I mean, we shouldn't be robots that continue to do what we've been doing without, in certain cases, not enough specific results and specific projects and products that are working and adopted and used, not just done for the sake of doing it. So that's as simple as that, and it's not only about cryptography. It's the same with DevEx and DeFi, who did it a little bit early as well, and the other ones that did it way before.
Yeah. There's a follow-up to that question. I think the community member who asked this, their concern was more about the privacy behind it, that it wasn't a transparent, supposedly, decision. And they'd also like to know about, supposedly there were 3 million Evers swapped to USDT in the middle of August and the middle of September. So we'd like to know, is that true? And what was it about?
I think we might be getting into a long story. I think the easiest one, there was an open call which was recorded. Maybe Roman could kindly put the link to that call either here, or if it takes a little bit longer to find it in the community chat, people can just watch it. I mean, there were transparent answers and a lot of tough questions asked. So whoever is interested to learn the details can just watch the recording.
Yeah, okay, that's a good answer. Okay, if there's anything remaining, ping us in the chats and we'll get some more information. When new exchanges and news? Well, I know about Indodex, the Indonesian exchange today. That's something huge. Does anybody else know what's on the horizon? I think they're a bit private until at a certain point. Okay, next question. Are Gex and Flex competitors? No, I don't believe they are competitors.
There was an answer. Whoever is not following the Ghost chat, there was an answer earlier this morning from the Ghost team, and I heard the same from the Flex team, that it's actually very simple. It's the same exchange with single order book, and obviously with the same with the same backend, etc. It's just it's essentially two separate front ends serving different purposes. So it's a fully coordinated action between the Gosh and Flex team. But whoever is interested in more details, because I saw today in the community chat more people asking about the what Gosh gives to the community. I wrote a brief reply, but there is a call coming up with Mitya and some of the other Gosh members. I think it's later this week, and it was announced in the community chats. And I'm sure it will be announced repeatedly again.
Yeah, we should have Mitya come on soon, maybe to the next call, but I know that he's been absolutely swamped with the whole project, but it's a good idea to get him on the call and answer some questions.
There is AMA planned, John. I just don't remember the date and time. Maybe Roman can help in this, but there is AMA coming up.
Is it an Everscale AMA or is it Gosh? Because then, okay.
Yeah, that will be on this Thursday. Yeah, there will be an announcement today.
Okay. Okay, so the next question is there any contradiction that GEX was developed with investments from Everscale? I think the Everx team may have put in some funding to Gosh as a supporter, but I don't think
it's again the AMA is coming. What I can say on the behalf of Everx team, of course, Everx contributed a lot of technology. I mean, Gosh essentially is a fork of Everscale, taking all of what has been done. I know they're doing their own route now, Gosh, which I hope will be successful, because in order for that project being a Docker extension to succeed, it requires a pretty large team and some marketing efforts for sure to get some adoption of the developers. So how successful is Gosh fundraising, I personally don't know, but I'm sure again on AMAs there'll be more details on it.
Yeah. There's another question about the GEX exchange, so I think we should just push it to the AMA. Moving on. So any news or details about Lever? Who will issue it and will they be allowed to vote? We need Pavel. Would you be able to jump in, Alex, with this, or we need to answer this?
I think it's either Pavel or Vlad from Broxus who just left. So we might just reply on this one in the chat in the Everscale.
Okay, yeah. And will there be any resource that will cover the activities of the foundation? I think this has to do with more like roadmap and everything that the foundation has taken on. And I believe that they are going to have their own accountability and transparency with that. So I think that's a stay tuned. They must be designing all that.
Yeah, the only thing I can add on this one is all 6 current foundation members, and I'm sure there'll be more, are very active. I mean, and can do stuff themselves. You saw Dave earlier today. Everybody knows Michael Gord. I think everybody knows Moon, and then the other foundation members maybe to a lesser extent, but they're all very engaged. And of course, all of the active teams in the community, like Broxus, Everx, Hyperflex, Warp Capital, are going to help with resources for the foundation to be function effectively. So all of the community resources will be available to the foundation and teams resources who are active in the space.
Yep.
So that's a short answer.
Can you give any insight to the accountability for their activities? Or will there be further communication? Like, for example, one of the examples would be that every community call, we bring on a new foundation member, like we did with Dave. So that could be something, and they could talk about what they do. Because this last question is somebody asking specifically about the accountability of the foundation members and the foundation.
I'm not in the center of designing, particularly the stuff. So I'm not best equipped to answer. If somebody on the call has a good shot, please do, but otherwise. Dave turned on the video.
Yes.
Maybe he can comment on that.
I stopped on the site, so now I'm in a different setting.
Just don't promise too much, Dave. Be careful, right?
No. I'll keep it generic enough, just to keep people tuned over. So right now we're doing all the what's necessary in Switzerland for the foundation, for the establishment. We have already, as we have outlined, a handful of foundation members. I'm the first one to be at the front of the camera. Sorry for the noise, but most of the others, I'm sure, will be showing their faces. We will have full accountability of how any or all of the funds will be spent. Most of us have a lot of resources that we can, all of us, contribute personally, either through connections, events, that we can bring to the table. And I'm sure that most of the members are the ones that want to give rather than take from Everscale. But obviously, let's not jump the gun. Let's give time to the foundation to set up properly, to introduce its members to the community, and then any inquiry, any questions that people will have, the community will have with regards to transparency about how the operations are done, we're always welcome to answer those questions and address any concerns.
Fantastic. Okay, that's great. That is the last of our questions. So unless anybody else has anything to discuss, I think we're done. And that wraps up the 115th Everscale Community Call. The next one will be on October 4th. So see you then and have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.